Right then, hello everybody and welcome to round 4 here at GRL in Emilia Romagna. This is round 4, as of course. It is indeed sprint weekend here on Saturday night for Global Racing League round 4. So it should be pretty exciting. We'll see what happens in qualifying then, as it's only a short qualifying. As I last commentated at Jeddah in round 2, as there's now people coming out. There's the first man, Shade Mobs, in the Alpha Tauri. Now for a man, Jordan is fly. Them are the only two out. King 5 Panda out. May also out in the Red Bull. So there's plenty of more to come out for their first run. So these are the qualifying positions for where it puts them in the sprint, and then the sprint places put them in the grid slot for the race. So wherever they finish in the sprint, they'll start in the race, and wherever they start in qualifying, they'll start in the sprint. So yeah, it's quite action for a sprint weekend, but it should be quite exciting, as extra points on the line from P1 to P8 on the Saturday. But we're on the Friday doing qualifying, so in real life it's Saturday, but I don't know why I said that anyway. There's that Shade Mobs in the pits, so he probably tested his setup, but we got an Alfa Romeo out first. Interesting then. Turn 1 for Jordan is fly. Pretty good exit all the 3 corners really. In the chicane he goes through. Doesn't touch any curbs through the chicane as you could in F1 2021. But I don't know whether it spins you out or whatever in F1 22. Now then, Jordan is flight. Is now coming through Akron Minerale. Very wide through Akron Minerale, but he's still got the car going through the chicane, where most people kind of do invalidate. But Jordan is fly does not invalidate through here, as I forgot to get all the details on. Actually, tyres not needed at all, and telemetry isn't either. Anyway, Jordan is fly comes around the final corner. He's going to set a 1:17.1 in the Alfa Romeo. So who's next then, out of all of them? We're seeing who. King 5 Panda, who's next, has invalidated, but he'll start another one set to 1:22.9, which unfortunately does not count. Jordan's flight still up the top, 14 minutes to go. May set to 1:27.1, that's not even a push lap at all. Preben has started his push lap or banker lap, whatever one. I don't know yet, so we'll see. As OP Gamer invalidates in the McLaren there. So there are a lot of invalidations, and that is a spin out of someone. I can't tell who it was. I think it was Josh. It looked like an Aston Martin. Interesting. Well, Pillar Vidis goes to the top. Fate second. So 1:16.3 and 1:16.8. Interesting. Between the top two, Mercedes and Williams. Got confused what car that was then. Curly 1:21.1. Good lap there. Well, not the best of laps, but I'm pretty sure there is improving to do on that lap. Josh has invalidated, so he might start another one anyway. Start another lap. Right then, we got Mosquito, who's invalidated. Everyone is just invalidating. King 5 Panda 118.5 on his push lap. Preben 118.0. OP Gamer then coming through Acra Minerale. Gets a nice entry and exit to it, but now the chicane where near enough everybody has invalidated that. Oh, takes it too deep, OP Gamer, and invalidates yet again. F then, is that a bit of rain coming down? Well then, F in the Williams. He's got 2 more corners to go in that Williams, and he finishes his lap. Round the final corner, invalidates and goes onto the gravel. Unlucky there. Right then, Josh JS Gaming, or Josh, who bottled the lead in Jeddah, who spun, but let's hope that doesn't happen again. Come through Acra Minerale comes Josh. Takes it very nicely there. Could be better. It gets a purple middle sector, so going through the chicane where near enough everybody invalidates, as I've said like 10 million times, but either way, it gets a purple middle sector. That's all Josh does care about. Just got 2 corners to go. Josh JS Gaming will set after the purple middle sector. Comes down the straight. It's going to be a 116.7 on the front row. Good job. Right, I just need to both Astons are here. Oh my god. Well, both Astons. Right, just need to get the stream up so I can just read the comment section or the live chat, whatever it's called. Put it on live. Right, there we go, we've got it up. So Josh and Dylan are here for tonight. So laps are now flying in. Pilivadis on provisional pole. I mean, still 10 minute 30 to go for this race. Qualifying. Right then, we have a Haas. I haven't seen him on the grid before, but we'll see what he can do. So he's on his outlap. Dylan also on his outlap. Benjamin also on his outlap. Momum on their outlap as well. So the bottom 4, they're on their outlaps as Dylan starts his lap, and Savant. So it's mainly the bottom 2. And OP Gamer, that's on that outlap, and Fate. The rest are either in the pits or on their laps, as Dylan takes it very wide the first 2 corners. Now, through the chicane. Oh, looks a bit shaky through the chicane. Savant behind as well. Ooh, takes it a little bit wide, 25.8 in that first sector. Dylan with a purple first sector in that Aston Martin. That's looking fairly decent for the Aston Martin. Dylan then, coming through Acra Minerale, actually touches the curb there as Fate has retired from qualifying. So we'll see him in the sprint then. Dylan going through the chicane. I don't think he got a purple bundle sector there. Josh's teammate on the front row, but can he spoil his teammate's front row and get himself onto the front row? Round the final corner, doesn't invalidate. Just a straight now, gets the rear wing open. It's a 118.3, that only puts him 8th. So overall, pretty shocking lap there for Dylan. Anyway, OP Gamer, the McLaren, will ride on his onboard. The McLaren then, who's not set a lap, he's in 12th. Down below, haven't set a lap from 12th to 17th. Deliver this, still on provisional pole by about 0.4 of a second. OP Gamer then, coming through Acra Minerale. He's now got the chicane. 8 minutes to go left in qualifying. Gets a purple middle sector. He looked a bit shaky through that chicane, but he's still going. OP Gamer with a purple middle sector. He's got 2 corners to go now. Benjamin does go full fastest 117. Oh, OP Gamer invalidates yet again. Wow. F then in the Williams will ride on his onboard as well. Coming through the chicane. Looks a bit slow through the chicane. But that's not down to him at the moment. Who's just gone quicker at the moment? 7th quickest. 117.3. Just behind the Red Bull of May. Who's not on my lap. Jordan's flight invalidates on his push lap. May then, I'm pretty sure he's coming into the pits. No, he's not. Okay, interesting. So he's going for a push lap here, which I'm interested to see as we go on his onboard. Something must have happened to him on his other lap, but turn 1 and 2 there. Pretty sharp, pretty decent, full of technique. Braking at the 50-metre board here, and oh, looks a bit shaky there. But he's still going. What's that first sector? He goes 1/10 quicker than his personal best in the first sector. I don't know whether I'll put him any higher in the table. Plilovidis still on that top step of qualifying. He's coming through Acra Minerali now. Doesn't touch any curbs. Oh, he spins and that's him into the barrier. So he's going to have to make a box now. And F is in the gravel. Preben then 2/10 quicker in that first sector. He's currently sitting in 9th, which is quite interesting. Oh, Preben goes wide but still hasn't invalidated. Coming through Acra Minerale. Oh, looked a bit shaky through there. Right then. Preben. Curly with a 5-place grid penalty. Oh, you get to the purple middle sector, but there was a bit of lag there. So I think that's still a glitch. That purple sectors. I don't know. Jordan, his fly goes 3rd ahead of Faith, who's retired. Preben then round the final corner, coming down the straight. What's he going to set? Pretty slow, and he goes up to 8th. Only 8th. As it's a 666, which is a very weird number, as we all know, but yeah. Anyway, Josh still on the front row, Pilovidis still provisional pole. Oh, that's an Alfa Romeo ahead of Deadly Mosquito there, and he's still ahead. Well, sorry, just managing to get past this. Deadly Mosquito spins and invalidates. Right then, OP Gamer once again, turn 1. Oh, OP Gamer struggling at the minute. We've got 4 minutes 26 left of this qualifying session, then we'll go to the sprint, which is actually the part that I'm actually excited for. I'm actually going to commentate the first ever sprint race in my commentating career, but we'll see what happens. It goes from 1 point to 8 points, so as the usual sprints in real life. OP Gamer then, Acra Minerale. Doesn't spin like May. He's still got it. What's that middle sector? It's not quickest in the middle sector at all. OP Gamer here. After all these struggles in the first part of this qualifying session, is he going to go then round the final corner? Can he keep it on track? Yes, he can. He's got the straight to go. Gets the rear wing, goes on 16.6. That's him on the front row ahead of Josh. After all those struggles, he manages to get on the front row. Very well done. We'll get off onboards now, as we have looked at a few onboards, and OP Gamer goes onto the front row. Very nice indeed for the McLaren. Anyway, we're looking at King 5 Panda then, coming around the final corner. I don't know whether he's on his push lap or not. He must be, as he's coming around the last bend. It's a 117.8. That pushes him up to 11th ahead of Deadly Mosquito. Dylan then, 2/10 quicker than his personal best in the first sector. Now coming through the second sector, you can't invalidate. This is the trickiest part on the circuit, to not invalidate and to not either spin, and he invalidates. Unlucky there, as we're looking at Curly then, around the bend, and he's going to set a 119.9, and I think he pushes himself up into P15, yes he does. Mobs then, who's just started his lap time, there are cars flying out at the minute in the run down into turn 1. That's probably distracted Mobs a little bit, but he's still going, as he actually does not invalidate. So he's still in this, he hasn't set a lap yet. What's that first sector going to be like for him? It's not quickest, but it's also his personal best in that first sector, as of course. He hasn't set a lap as of yet. Mobs then, coming through the second sector. Trickiest part around Emilia Romagna. Goes off track, but he's still holding the track limits. Anyway, comes through here, he seems to be struggling. King 5 Panda has retired from qualifying then, so we'll see him in the sprint. We won't see him any longer. Anyway then, Mobs must be like heading for at least 12th or something here. The AlphaTauri comes around the last 2 corners. He's got an Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Round the final corner comes the AlphaTauri. Keeps it on track. He's going to manage to set a lap, and that lap is going to be a 119.7 that only gets him 15th. Wow. Interesting then. We're looking at Carlo, who's down on his time. Well, we'll look now. Yeah, he's very down on his time. F then. I think he's down on his time as well. Yes, he is down on his time. Yeah, so many glitches from the F1 game. So just try to bear with me if I've got something wrong. Notify that I have got something wrong. Right then, we're looking at Moman sitting in only P8 for Moman, which is not very like him. 3/10 up on his personal best. He's coming through the chicane then. He's got a Mercedes ahead of him, the Ferrari. He's got 2 corners to go there. The Ferrari comes around the final corner. He's got a bit of slipstream off the Mercedes, and it's going to be a 116.9 that only pushes him up to 7th. So this is the end of qualifying. So that's only his provisional time. Josh then, who's invalidated, is Jordan is Fly gonna manage to sneak by ahead of Pilavidis for the sprint? Round the final 2 corners, Jordan is Fly is going to do. Round the final corner, Jordan is Fly is going to get a 117.3. That's his qualifying over. Preben stays 9th. F has invalidated. Kylo looks to be down on his time. Yeah, I think he's pretty much down on his time. Round the final corner. What's he going to set? It's going to be a 118. No, 119.0. That only pushes him up to P14. Or did he stay P14? I'm not too sure. But that is it for qualifying then. I'll see you lot in the sprint, because this indeed will be exciting. So Pilavidis on pole by 0.3 of a second. OP Gamer on the front row with Pilavidis. So this is the Emilia Romagna short qualifying done and dusted. We'll see you for an 11 lap race sprint. This should be exciting. I'll see you lot there. Oh, Josh, mate. Right then, here's the sprint race for this weekend on the Saturday evening. We've got a longer stream for tonight, as we do have 11 extra laps to add on to the 32, as we are doing the sprint race for now at 6:30 UK time. So here we go then. Here's the start for our sprint journey in Global Racing League, as the formation lap will begin just shortly. So should be exciting. Right, here we go then. Formation lap has just begun. So a zero stop strategy, as everybody is on the mediums for the start of this race. Here we go then. 17 drivers, 11 laps. Who's going to come out on top for the sprint, the first ever sprint race this season in Global Racing League GRL. Here we go then. 11 laps to spare. It's not like the full amount of 24 laps. So we're not doing a full format for this, as of course you'll do a short qualifying and a 30 odd lap race, between 20 and 30 odd laps. As pillar for this is quite far ahead on the formation lap. Yeah, Josh, P3 mate, well done. So it's quite tight for who's actually going to win the sprint. So people only gain 1 point if you finish in the top 8. So 9th and 10th will have to get points in the actual race itself. So 9th and 10th will unfortunately miss out on points for sprint races for this season. Is rain forecasted? How do I check that? I'm pretty sure it's not. As I can tell, I'm pretty sure it's not, but we'll see. We'll see. I ain't got a clue whether it's forecasted. I didn't look, so. Anyway, the grid is lining up for this sprint. Pilavidis on pole, OP Gamer second, Josh third. Josh has been disqualified. Obviously poor parking there for some of the guys. Right then. Here we go. 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go here for the sprint at Emilia Romagna, and it says King Five Panda is in first with it being on the second lap, but Pilavidis, as you can tell, is in the lead into turn 1, and that's OP Gamer second, as OP Gamer rides the curb there as it's 3 wide. Was just anyway, as that's a Red Bull spun, and May is out of the sprint. What a start to the sprint race already, and that has already caused a safety car. Wow. We have not done a singular lap of this sprint. We have not done a singular racing lap in this sprint, or a singular lap. And it's already a safety car. So May has spun into the barriers, which caused him to be out of the race. So that's it. That's his sprint done and dusted. That's his sprint over with. Predicted pit stop strategy, obviously no stops at all for sprint races, as the tyres can definitely go all the way to the distance, all the way to the checkered flag, from the start to the checkered flag. As it says, King Five Panda is in the lead, but he's not. He's somewhere in God knows position, but Pilavidis is obviously in the lead. Oh no, it's only a VSC, so Pillar for this gets us underway here for lap 2 out of 11. As a 1 minute 30.8 has been set, as Pillar for this is apparently 1 minute 26 behind King Phi Panda, who's actually boxed. So, what a weird glitch that is. Anyway, let's hope that glitch can actually be sorted with toward the end of the race. So, if it says King Phi Panda's won, he hasn't at all. So, it's just a glitch. He's currently P16 right now. So, yeah, you know when he's you know he's P16, as it says, is 1 minute 16. But either way, what a weird glitch. As there's no contention at all. There is barely any battles going on around on track. Well, as you would, oh, that's Savant going wide. F come through the chicane. Through that chicane, but we'll see. P Gamer Pillar for this looks very strong around there for tonight. So there looks like no battle for win at all in this sprint. But we'll see as time goes. Right, the glitch has been sorted and Pillar for this is officially back in front. So the glitch has gone, basically, on the 3rd lap of this race. Right then, so 1st to 8th will get points in the sprint. And 9th and 10th will have to get points in the race itself. So Pillar for this 1.2 ahead of 2nd. So it looks no charge for the win at all. It looks like the Williams is just going to charge through the pack and beat OP Gamer to the win. As Josh has gone up to P4. Don't know what happened to... Who was it now? I can't remember actually. Actually, because King Phi Panda was in front because of the glitch. But, right, Josh has been bumped up to P4. So everyone's been bumped up the position. But King Phi Panda has been bumped down positions due to the glitch. So lap 4 out of 11 in this sprint race. And there's just no charge at all for the race lead. But there's a charge here for 2nd place here in this race between McLaren and Mercedes. We'll see what happens throughout the course of the race. Josh is 1.6 behind a podium. Moment 1.4 behind Josh, as that's yellow flags. And something has happened to Fate, who was P3, now out of the points. So that's very unlucky for him, who was fighting for second place. But it just looks like a boring sprint at the minute. Pillar for this is just charging his way through the field, and he looks like he's going to win this sprint very comfortably ahead of the McLaren. Interesting, but Deadly Mosquito chasing the AlphaTauri and 7th Shade mobs. Then, made the only one out of this Grand Prix. Preben seems to be struggling at the minute. Fate is still on track, just chilling. He's slowed down very much. He might as well just go in the pits and retire. But if he wants to carry on, he carries on. That's what he does. That's what he wants to do. But it's very unlikely that he will carry on. 9 seconds behind 15th. It looks like his race is indeed over for tonight in the sprint. Obviously, he's still got the whole 32 lap race to go through. But it's unfortunate for him. As we've got 6 laps to go. Is Fate going to retire? No, he carries on. He stays out and carries on. Fair play to him. Anyway, 2.2 seconds now between the gap between first and second, it just looks like a comfortable sprint win for Pilavidis, who struggled in round 2 at Jeddah. He actually kind of did look strong around Jeddah, Pilavidis, but it's not the case. But obviously it is the case for tonight as well, here in Tier 2. But lap 6 out of 11 then in this sprint. It just looks like a boring race. There could be battles down below. We could have a look. As we haven't looked at the bottom, as Benjamin is trying on the DRS, on the Mercedes, down the straight. There's nowhere near him, actually. So it looks like a three-way battle for 7th, for 2 points. Deadly Mosquito does have 1 point to his name in this sprint, but it's not enough, as he would say. We'll have a look at other people then. First and second just look comfortable with 2 seconds at the minute on these 6-lap old mediums that will go to the checkered flag. But anyway, it just looks like the win for Pilavidis, so we might as well not keep eyes on for him at the minute, as that is fate, who was spun yet again and is so close to being lapped in this sprint. It is unbelievable. That's what you would expect in the race itself, so hopefully that does not happen. Kylo is another one out of this Grand Prix in P13. Is now going to get bumped down to P16. And is that a VSC or a full safety car? I can't tell at all. He's obviously crashed out then. Well, we'll have a look. As we look at fate. We're going to have a look on what actually happened to Carlo, as he's actually gone now. So I can't tell what actually happened to him. So that's unlucky. Fate is actually going to now be manageable to catch up to the pack. And F has boxed for softs. Wow. So it must be a full course safety car. Yes, it is a full course safety car. So F on the softs. Interesting. So it does not look like a comfortable win anymore for Pilavidis, as OP Gamer can charge his speed and go for that race victory. Will Pilavidis box? Well, I think that's what OP Gamer is going to wait for. Pilavidis stays out. OP Gamer thought about it. The top 3 have stayed out. And the top 4, and the top 5, and the top 6. So that's the majority staying out. But Mobs and Deadly Mosquito are in. Mobs gets a 5 second for speeding in the pit lane. That's unlucky for him there. Right then, look at Mobs. Sorry, Deadly Mosquito, who's put on softs. I think Mobs will do the same. So, same strategies for 3 people. As Deadly Mosquito and Mobs have been pushed out of the points now. So is this the wrong decision making for the guys who have boxed to softs? It must be. Fate is now going to manage to try and gain some places so we can get up somewhere for the race itself. As we have 3 laps to go then. Who's going to win? Sorry, 4 laps to go even. Who is going to win this race? We'll see toward the end, but the mic is going to go on mute for a bit. So, as Preben, who was spun there under safety car. So, F and Fate, they're going to manage to catch up now. Right then, the mic will go on mute until the safety car has restarted. Right then, everybody. So, two people out of this race. We're going to have 2 laps left of racing here in GRL, the sprint race at Imola. Should be interesting then for this round. Anyway, we've got 2 corners, and then we start lap 10, and then we get back racing once again. So the whole pack has caught up except 16th and 17th, who are out of this race. Sorry for the voice crack there, that was a big one. But anyway, Pilavidis starts us once again, and OP Gamer is trying to chase Pilavidis, but Pilavidis is so quick. Anyway, OP Gamer, ooh, very close there. Just moment when Jordan is fly, they're going to scrap it out Alfa Romeo against Ferrari. Actually, never mind, they won't. As Dylan has managed to sneak himself up into P6, but not so long with those penalties. I mean, the same with Savant and Just Moment, who's got a penalty as well. So F has also got a penalty. Some of them have penalties due to speeding in the pit lane. But anyway, OP Gamer is closer to Pilavidis for the sprint win. But Pilavidis, as usual, looking speedy through the corners. OP Gamer looking speedy on the straight. As the gap goes up to 0.6 of a second, going down to 0.5 of a second. There's going to be no DRS whatsoever for the rest of this race. So OP Gamer is going to use all of his battery on the final lap of this sprint. Fake gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So that's another penalty. Well, that's his first penalty for him. As OP Gamer can't catch up to Pilavidis at all. Is Pilavidis just going to easily win this Grand Prix for the main event? It looks that way at the moment, as Pilavidis just has the exit speed all the time. I mean, OP Game pushing as hard as he can through the exit of corners. Acro Minerali now for Pilavidis and OP Gamer, and then Josh JS Gaming. These two can't even be separated at the moment, OP Gamer and Pilavidis. But it looks like it's going to go Pilavidis' way here in the sprint. 0.7 of a second then. Pilavidis uses his ERS. Now, with 2 corners to go, Pilavidis has just got to keep himself calm round the final corner. Pilavidis in this sprint race with 0.8 of a second to OP Gamer is going to win the sprint at Imola. And the DRS enables as well. So Josh with a podium. Jordan just fly goes up to P4 moment with a penalty, so he goes down to P5. And Dylan with a 20-second time penalty has to finish 11th. Unlucky there. Right then, Pilavidis wins the sprint, so he's got an extra point over OP Gamer. Pilavidis just looks so pacey through that sprint. He looked ever so strong, but he kept going and he kept going. And Fate manages to gain a pace after starting so far back, as my game has crashed. Wow. My game has crashed. Wow.